But Gator, it's time for our predictions.
That it is.
And I've talked up a few things that I think are going to be key this year. The secondary, which I just talked about. I think the linebacking position is another one that went from being a question mark and maybe a weakness to a position of strength. I'm counting on Malcolm Rodriguez getting better. I am counting on Derek Barnes to be the new and improved Derek Barnes and buying into that. And I love the Jack Campbell pick. I think he makes an impact from day one. Holy crap, they got 4 linebackers there. Up front, defensively, there's a bunch of guys that have high ceilings that can really make a difference. And it's probably the biggest X factor defensively. If Aleem McNeil, John Kaminsky, James Houston, Josh Pascal, Levi Onwuzurike, Mixon and Aquara, if Charles Harris gets back to form, there's a whole bunch of ifs up there to put together with Aiden Hutchinson. We could be talking about a complete defense. I think that's a big ask. I've said a lot of things that need to go right, and they all don't always go right. Offensively, though, one thing that I hope is going right for the first time is the health of the offensive line. I've talked up the additions in the backfield. I hope the receiver position stays healthy, and that Ben Johnson, the O-line, and Jared Goff continue to take a group of receivers that isn't elite and get close to elite production out of the pass game. The offense was top 5 last year. The defense is going to be improved. Little concerned about the kicking game, a little bit concerned about the kicking game. Well, all that said, it's not a straight line. There's going to be some losses mixed in that we don't expect. I got the Lions at 11-6 this year and winning the division.
Well, I like what you have to say there. I go back to, where this team was a couple years ago when they started. And it wasn't good to start, but they all believed in what they were doing. They had some tough love discussions with players. They put it on Jared Goff specifically in the second half of that first season when they were here and said, look, you got to be better. Everyone's got to be better, but you're the quarterback. You got to be better. From that moment on, he was better. He had a great second half of the season, or last 7 games of the year. They took it into last year. The offense was fantastic last season. And then they had some hard discussions and let's have some tough love discussions again about the defense. They changed the defensive backs coach. They put more on the plate of the defensive coordinator and Glenn, and they responded, and they went 8-2 down the stretch, and the defense was a plus. They were no longer a blanket liability. They were an asset. And, okay, so now what do you do? Well, in the offseason, they went out and they added to it. They added to the secondary in particular. They went out and used a draft and got guys that can start in this league and will start from day one, which is exciting. So I'm going to go with the progress that they've made and expect that the offense can stay as good as they were, perhaps even better, because the running game should be better in my mind. I think they've got an upgrade with the switching out of the running backs, and having the healthy offensive line from day one is massive. So I think the offense can be even better than they were last year, and I expect the defense to be leaps and bounds better than they were last year. That all being said, when you come down and try to throw a number at it, I think the home field advantage is huge for this team as well. They've sold out. Their allotment of season tickets. So the home games are going to be serious home field advantage. I like this team to go 12-5.
Okay. And Kang, what do you got this year?
I haven't fully bought on Jared Goff yet, but I have fully bought on the Jared Goff-Ben Johnson relationship and the marriage. I think the offense could be better than it was last year. I think they got Jahmyr Gibbs, their offensive weapon. I know Jan was out for the first 6 weeks, but St. Brown is becoming one of the better receivers, if not a top 10 receiver in this league. I think the offense is going to do just fine, if not better, like I said. The whole key on this team improving on last year is their defense. The defense finally came through, or got better at least the last 10 games of the year. Can they start off better than they did last year? You would have to think so. I think they don't go 5-1 in the division. I think they go 4-2, so they lose a game there. But I think they gain games outside of the division. I think they end up going 11-6 as well, Doug, winning the division. There's not going to be a 1-6 start this year. They know, they've learned. I know they start off with Kansas City and Seattle, but 1-1 is doable. And with what Seattle's going, or with what Kansas City's going through with the Jones and Kelsey not playing possibly, 2-0 is actually foreseeable. I like 11-6, win the division. I believe in Goff and Ben Johnson. It's the defense. They got to come through, and I think they've added enough pieces on the defense, a whole new secondary essentially, and the defensive line should get better.